Just a few comments about grafting. Somebody asked me about follow-up to some of my videos I did last year and the year before about cleft grafting. The tree I demonstrated cleft grafting and rind grafting on, unfortunately, it got fungus disease. I think I did mention this, and eventually it was not growing very well, and we've cut it down. However, I did do a load more grafting last year, which I put a couple of videos up, and just want to show you. It's basically this row here. I'll just walk down showing some of the successful grafts. There's a double rind graft, and you can see where that's grown away quite nicely. There's a single rind graft there. Again, that between my finger and thumb there, that was the pencil of wood I grafted in, and you can see it's grown away like that. No idea how well it's grown, that's my head. This is actually made about 6 feet of growth, that particular one. There's another tree. This was a saddle graft. The particular grafting technique you use, whether a rind graft, saddle graft, cleft graft or others, depends on the diameter of the wood. The principle is that you've got a tree that's vigorous and healthy, sturdy, fine, strong, well-growing tree. This will not work with a useless, sickly tree, but a strong growing tree, healthy tree, roots and trunk and branches, but it's not the variety you want, so you can graft in different varieties. There's, is that a cleft? Yeah, that's a double cleft graft. You can see there's the split there, there's the strong new wood growing away, there's a little bit of polythene and a bit of wax on it. Again, you can see the two, from there to there and from there to there. Those are the pencils that I grafted in, and that's the wood that's grown away from it. So the strength of the growth was a function of how strong the roots were to begin with. Similar thing here. Again, there's a saddle graft, grown away well. There's a single rind graft. You've got a bit of wood there, so 3-4 centimetres thick. You can't split that for a cleft graft, it just won't work. Saddle is out of the question, so a rind graft is the way to go. That's done well. Again, similar to what I just showed you, there's a rind graft. You can see where the branch was sawn across, the rind was slit and lifted slightly, the pencil of cyan wood was sharpened to exactly the correct shape, slid in underneath the lifted bark, and that was tied down. I'll show you the other side. And you can see the wax that I used there to seal it up. It's grown away vigorously. I say vigorously, I mean that's the kind of growth that it's made. It didn't all take. You very rarely get complete success. This is going to need some tidying up. This one's been attacked by this sort of papery rot sort of fungus thing. You can see there was a graft done there, and it did succeed. It grew away, but then it just fell off, it snapped off. You just don't get 100% success with sort of anything in biology at all. Again, here's a rind graft. Here's a rind graft that just didn't take. Okay, they don't all succeed. That one succeeded. So it's done quite well on the whole. A few of them just didn't do any good at all. Here's a slightly different take, which I did. I sawed the trunk off. This is about 2 feet from the ground level. Sawed the trunk clean off. Rind graft, another rind graft, and they've grown away very vigorously. Interestingly, this is your insurance policy. There's a couple of branches have grown away from below. What you could do is sort of saddle graft onto these, And incidentally, here's some rootstock, there's some suckers coming up from the rootstock. What I could do, I may or may not, depending on how I feel, but you can dig these up, dig down, get them out with as much root as you can, plant them out, and you've got rootstock for free. Again, there's another nice, you see where the cut was made. Nice rind graft growing away well there. Another one, I think that's a wedge. No, that's a rind graft. This one here was a bit of a disappointment. It grew well. Nice rind grafts. Grew away well, and one snapped off, then the other one snapped off. I'm not quite sure why. What I'll do with this now, probably, frankly, is a bit diseased. I'll just dig this out and destroy it. The other thing you might do is saw it off at ground level and see if it sends a shoot up. And if it does, then it's sort of kill or cure. You saw it off at ground level. If that kills it, okay, that kills it. On the other hand, if shoots come up, select the strongest shoot, cut the others out, let the strongest shoot grow away, and then the following year graft onto that. And that's a good way of saving a tree, and we've done that before now. But yeah, so these are the successful, or mostly successful. I've got about 80% success here on grafting these over. And this was a variety called Spartan, which wasn't a great success for us, and these trees have been grafted over to two other varieties, I think Ashmead's Kernel and Sun Tan, which, although they are extremely good apples, last year they didn't do very well, but that's another story.